Hey, everybody. Welcome to Takeoff with John Clark, and let's bring him in. He is staying in Philly on a 3-year deal. Eagles cornerback, James Bradberry. It is good to see you, and congratulations on your new deal.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
So I got to ask you, honestly, when you walked off the field at the Super Bowl and then you saw what was coming in free agency, did you think you would be back with the Birds?
I believe there was going to be an opportunity because I believe I played a good year. I figured the team would have interest in me, and I knew there was interest in me wanting to come back. So I had hopes.
Because a lot of people in Philly were like, oh, he's going to get huge money in free agency. The Eagles don't have a lot of cap room. So any surprise that you are back and that your guys were able to work out a good deal?
Nah, because like I said, there was interest from their side, and I also wanted to come back too. So it wasn't a surprise for me. I'm just glad to be back.
Yeah, I think Philly is glad you're back. So what were the things that enticed you to stay with the Eagles?
I think there was some of the same things, that enticed me to join the team last year and last offseason. We got a good roster. We got a strong offense. I know we still got some pieces that we need to get on defense, but for the most part, I feel like we had some good young core that's coming back and that's going to be able to compete. And also, the number was good with me. I was good with the number. In the city, I love the city. The support that they showed us, the love that they showed us throughout the year. It made a guy feel good. So, of course, I wanted to be a part of that.
And you were offered some more money by at least one other team or two other teams or something like that?
I definitely had some other offers on the table. I don't really want to get into who that was and what number it was, but, there was some other offers, but I felt like Philly was the best fit for me.
So this defense obviously is undergoing some changes, but how confident are you that with the new defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, that this defense can still be contender caliber, championship level defense?
I'm confident in what he brings to the table, but I'm also confident in the guys that we got coming back as far as the young core. I know we're missing some vets on the squad, but some guys are coming back, and I feel like with the help of the older guys with the younger guys, and of course with the new scheme, I feel like it's going to be hard to top what we did last year, but I think we definitely got the opportunity to do some good things over there.
And after such a special season that you had in Philly, and you were so close to winning a Super Bowl, how much was it burning inside of you when the season ended, and even now to try to get back there and get that Lombardi trophy?
It was hard to get there. It was really, really hard to get there. And it was definitely, a feeling that I want to feel again, being in that moment, being in that atmosphere. And I definitely feel like there's an opportunity for us to go back. But it's going to take a lot of work for us to get back to that. And we got to start with OTAs and start getting this team together. And I'm just glad that I can add myself to the core and, I can make this team better.
So when you got to know the guys on the team and then you saw how the defense came together, Slay talked about, you guys, it's not just employee relationship. You want to be friends. How tight did you become with the guys on the defense and the team?
I've created relationships with those guys at the last, my whole life. And of course, I've been around their family members after the game. We hung out at some events and whatnot. So we got pretty close, I would say.
And when you look at the defensive line, you're losing Javon Hargrave, but you do have Brandon Graham coming back. Fletcher Cox is now coming back. You got Hassan Reddick. You got Josh Sweat. And then you got the big man, Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, guys like that. Do you think that the defensive line can be similar to last year? I mean, last year was record breaking, but do you think it could be similar to last year? And how much does that help the team go, the engine?
What we did last year as far as D linemen, of course, we broke records. So I don't even want to put that expectation on those guys. But Jordan Davis and Milton Williams, those are two guys, I watched throughout the whole year. And I saw the progression in those guys, how they got better throughout the whole year. And I also saw the potential. So they have a lot of potential. I feel like they can definitely wreck a game. And I'm looking forward to playing with those guys next year.
And of course, you lost linebackers. Nakobe Dean, do you think he is ready for this role?
I think Nakobe Dean he's ready for whatever we put in front of him. I saw that he was a smart guy, the way he attacked practice, the way he attacked the meeting rooms, and also the way he played on special teams. He played fast and he played physical. And you put those tools at middle linebacker or outside linebacker, I think that'll make you definitely an impactful player. And I think he has the opportunity to be that for us.
With Jonathan Gannon leaving, you talked to the new defensive coordinator, Sean Desai. What kind of defense do you think we're going to see from him? Because Nick Sirianni said it's not going to be wildly different, and there's going to be a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I think his comments pretty much sealed it up. It's going to be pretty similar from what I was told. So hopefully we can kind of replicate what we did last year.
What was this process like for you? Obviously, it was a little different last year because of when you were released. But what was this process like for you? Was it fun having all these teams call you and how badly they wanted you?
For sure, it was definitely fun. I was a little anxious too. I was just anticipating, where I might end up. But like I said, it was fun. And at the end of the day, I'm able to come back, back to Philly, a place where, I pretty much played some good football and a place that I love. So it was definitely fun for sure.
So obviously, I'm sure you saw the news about Darius Slay was expected to be released, but he has not been released yet. I mean, do you think there's a chance that Slay actually comes back and joins you?
Well, if he hasn't been released yet, I feel like there's still an opportunity. That's my guy. So, I've been keeping up with him. At the end of the day, he's going to do what's best for him and his family. But I'm definitely rooting for him to come back and still be a part of this team.
When you agreed to come back for a 3-year contract, did you think Slay would be a part of the team? I mean, was it tough to hear that the possibility of him being released today was out there?
Well, I kind of knew about his situation before I signed, just because, of course, I talked to him a little bit, and I'm not surprised. I didn't know how the situation was going to go, but I do know the options in which it could go, and this is one of those ways it could go based off the scenario. So for myself, I'm glad to be back on the team, and I know he got to do his best for him.
And how about CJ Gardner-Johnson? You hoping that he's able to work out a contract with the team as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping, we can get things done with Chauncey. He was a great playmaker for us last year. And I know he's going to make plays for us if he's on the team with us next year. But like I said, I know he got to do his best for him and his family too as well.
What was your comfort level in the Eagles defense, and how much did that play into, re-signing with the Eagles, actually what you're able to do in the defense?
Yeah, definitely. Given that the system is going to be pretty similar to what we ran last year, that definitely had an impact on why I decided to stay. And I'm pretty comfortable, with the atmosphere, pretty comfortable with the guys that I'm going to be playing with a little bit. I know Reed Blankenship is going to be in the mix at safety. And I know I did a lot of communicating with him throughout the season. So it's some familiarities around the team that I'm really good with and really comfortable with. And like you said, that's the reason why I came back.
I'll tell you, you've been in some spots over the last 3, 4, 5 years. Are you glad to know where you're going to be now for 3 years here?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I feel like that took some of the nerves away once I finally decided to come back to Philly. And I know I could potentially be ending my career here in Philly. So I'm glad to be in one place for the next 2, 3 years.
So you could possibly retire as an Eagle. Is that something you thought about?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely thought about it. Of course, we have to get to that when we get to those crossroads and we get to the ending point of my career. But, I wouldn't definitely mind retiring an Eagle.
How about since the Super Bowl? I got to be honest with you, everywhere I went, that's what people were talking about, the penalty that was called at the end. How much did people come up and talk to you about it, that a lot of people didn't want to see the Super Bowl end that way?
Honestly, I didn't have too many people come up to me talking about the Super Bowl. Of course, I got a lot of text messages and calls, whatnot, just just checking on me really, and see what my emotions were. And then of course, I had a couple people send me videos because they was at graduations, and I like the speaker would speak on how I handled the situation through the Super Bowl and whatnot. But for the most part, I kind of stayed to myself. Other than text messages and calls, nobody really came up to me.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was really impressive the way you handled the post game of the Super Bowl, the organization. People did not blame it on the referees or the grass or anything like that. Where do you think that accountability comes from with you and the team?
I think it starts off with the top, the coaches, and also we had a great veteran group too. So a lot of veteran guys, of course, you never want to put the game in the refs' hands, to where they can make a game decision call that could cause the game to go a different way or change the momentum. So just having veteran leadership helped us out through that situation, I believe, and just taking accountability and responsibility for your actions on the field.
I remember talking to you when you came to the Eagles and you were getting ready for the Link crowd, and you were talking about how you were with Carolina, and you experienced it. Was it everything and more as far as the fan support in Philadelphia for the Eagles?
Yeah, it was definitely everything and more. Of course, we had a great season, and the fans really, really showed love. I think the loudest crowds was always at home. There was never a away game for us that I felt like the opposite crowd was louder than our guys on our end. So it was definitely more than what I had anticipated, and I loved the whole season.
Philadelphia, it became a special place for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I came back, and I want to continue to make this place a special place for me and of course the teammates and also the fans.
Is there a sense with some of you guys, like Brandon Graham was telling us, he wants to come back for another year. He probably took less than market value in a way. Fletcher Cox, he turned down more money other places. Was there a sense you guys wanted to run this back and stay together and get another shot at this?
I definitely got the sense for myself. I can't speak on BG and Fletch. I know they've been with the team a lot longer than I have. So their circumstances and situations, it might be different from mine. But hearing that those guys are back, it definitely feels like, trying to get back there,
Yeah. And do you think there is still a chance at Slay and the Eagles can work something out?
I hope so. I hope so. I definitely don't mind having Slay as my teammate.
Yeah. And it's interesting. You guys are going to be facing Juju Smith-Schuster this year. He's joined the Patriots. Did you find it odd that he was worried so much after winning the Super Bowl that he was putting stuff out on social media about all you guys?
No, I just tried to ignore it, to be honest with you. Just tried to ignore
it. Smart man. So before I let you go, you talked about kind of learning the city of Philadelphia. And I remember talking to you in the locker room. You said you went to your first concert ever.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of experience was the city of Philadelphia, and how much more do you want to explore with the city?
Well, I'm a foodie, so I love food, different restaurants. So I definitely, as I get up there for OTAs and then I'm there during the summer, I definitely want to get around the city more and start to, venture out and try the different cuisines and different restaurants that we got out there.
And maybe go to a second concert, right?
Definitely be going to more concerts. I definitely had a great time there.
And final question for you. How much does the coaching staff have to do with this? Seems like Nick Sirianni listens to you guys about when to back off with practices and everything like that, and how to keep you guys fresh. I mean, how much does the coaching staff and the way they handle, the preparation for games and every week, how much does that influence you?
That's up there too. Having a coaching staff that listens to us, takes our input and actually uses it and applies it to how he runs things is very important to me. And I feel like it's very important to all the veterans across the team. I feel like that helped us get to the Super Bowl. It helped us stay healthy throughout the whole season.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time. And Philly, it's been a lot of great response up here. Philly is glad you're coming back. So appreciate the time and best wishes to you. Glad you're going to be in one spot here for 4 years.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on, and I'm glad to be back.